Hello ladies, it's Mr. O'Sullivan. Today we're looking at lesson 3-4, angle pairs part 1. Today's learning target is I will apply my understanding of angle relationships to calculate the missing angle measure. So this is very vocab heavy, so we need to make sure that we know this name, the diagram, and the fact. So the first term we're going to look at is adjacent angles. So whenever you hear the word adjacent, I want you to sort of think of like next to, so they're angles that are next to each other. They have a common side and a common vertex, so they're going to share a side. So if I look at this, I can say angle AOB is adjacent to BOC. So if I look, angle BOC, my apologies, they share common side BO and they have that common vertex O. The angle addition postulate. That basically says the sum of two adjacent angles is equal to the whole angle. So if you want to think about it, you can also do like part plus part is equal to your whole. It's like part plus part equals the whole. So I can basically add my two tiny angles together to get my whole angle. So in this case, I can say that the measure of angle ABC plus the measure of angle CBD is equal to the measure of my whole angle, or ABD. And if I want to think about that, I can also just say 26 plus 33 is equal to, well, 20 plus 33, so 59 degrees, I think. Not 100% sure on that. Now, angle bisector. An angle bisector is simply a ray that creates two congruent angles. So in this visual, I can say angle Q and angle P are congruent to each other. I can also say that the measure of angle HGI is equal to 2 times the measure of angle Q, which is equal to 2 times the measure of angle P. Okay. Now, perpendicular lines are lines that intersect to form right angles. We know right angles are 90 degrees. So anytime we see this little square in our image, that's a sign we have perpendicular lines. Now, complementary angles, if you look, I can make a 9 with my C, and I have a 90-degree angle. So these are angles that add up to 90. So if I look, 25 plus 65 is equal to 90. Now, supplementary angles are angles that I can make with 180. So supplementary, think of straight. These are going to be straight lines. So if I look, I have a straight line right here, and then I have that line jutting out of it, and I can say that angle A plus angle B is equal to 180. Okay. Let's look at some practice problems. Question number 1. The measure of angle YWZ is 67, and the measure of angle XWY is 54. What is the measure of angle XWZ? Note, the diagram is not drawn to scale. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label my image. So I know angle YWZ, so I start at Y, go to W, end at Z, is 67 degrees. So I can say this is 67. I know the measure of angle XWY is 54 degrees. So my angles are not congruent. If I look, I want to find the measure of angle XWZ, which is made up of two angles, or my 54 and my 67. So for this example, I'm doing a part, and a part is equal to my whole. So if I wanted to, I can say that the measure of angle XWY plus the angle YWZ is equal to angle XWZ. So when I break this apart, I can do 54 degrees plus 67 degrees. And when I do 54 plus 67, I get 121 degrees. So I can say angle XWZ is equal to 121 degrees as my final answer. Number 2. The measure of angle JKL is 169 degrees. So if I look, I start at J, go to K, end at L. So that's this whole angle right here. I know that the measure of angle JKN is 13x plus 2. And I know the measure of angle NKL is 28x plus 3. Find the measure of angle JKN. So I need to find the value of x, but the thing is, I know part plus part is equal to my whole. So I can do 13x plus 2 plus 28x plus 3 is equal to 169. So I'm going to combine my like terms. 13x plus 28x is 41x. 2 plus 3 is 5, and that's equal to 169. Subtract 5, subtract 5. I get 41x is equal to 164. And then I divide by 41. And I get x is equal to 4. So now that I know x is equal to 4, I want to find the value of JKN. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little tinier. That way I have some room to write. I know x is 4, so I know JKN is 13x plus 2. So everywhere I see x, I substitute a 4. So I type that into my calculator, and I get 54 degrees. Number 4, given the diagram below, what is the measure of angle GEF? So if I look at this, I know that both these angles add up to 90 degrees. So I can say 2a minus 9 plus a is equal to 90. Combine my like terms and I get 3a minus 9 equals 90. I add 9 to both sides of my equation. And then I divide by 3. And I get a is equal to 33. It wants me to find the measure of angle GEF, so I start at G, go to E, end at F, and that's just substituting in for A. So I can say angle GEF is 33 degrees. Okay, number 5 and 6 are the exact same visual. I have EF bisecting angle DEG, and EF is a ray. So the first thing we do is I'm going to draw angle DEG. And then I'm going to draw ray EF. And it doesn't matter as long as you have it drawn somewhat to scale. So I'm going to make it a little tinier and then bring it down here as well. So question number 5. If the measure of angle DEF is 5x minus 3, so I start at D, go to E, end at F, and the measure of angle FEG is 2x plus 15, so this angle right here, find the value of x. Well, since I have an angle bisector, I know that these two angles are congruent to each other. So I can just do 5x minus 3 equals 2x plus 15. Get x's on one side, so I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides of my equation. So I have 3x minus 3 equals 15. I add 3 to both sides of my equation, and I get 3x equals 18. Divide by 3, and I get x is equal to 6. And that's my final answer. Number 6. The measure of angle DEF is 3x plus 1. And the measure of angle DEG is 5x plus 19. So that's my whole angle. But here's the thing. I know that this angle is 3x plus 1. This angle is also 3x plus 1 because it's an angle bisector. So I have 3x plus 1 plus 3x plus 1 equals 5x plus 19. Combine your like terms. 6x plus 2 equals 5x plus 19. Subtract 5x, subtract 5x. I get x plus 2 equals 19. Subtract 2, and I get x is equal to 17. And that's my final answer. So make sure you're working on weekly homework number 2. And then also make sure you finish your independent practice. If you have any questions, email myself or Ms. Calarundo.